Oversight Committee member Jasmine Crockett. Welcome to you, Congresswoman. Just so we have it on the record, you were an affirmative vote for this continuing resolution?
Absolutely.
And you supported it. So what was the conversation when Democrats first learned of this continuing resolution, a clean CR, if you will, from the House Republicans?
Okay, so your air quotes said it all. For us, we were like, we don't trust anything that Kevin has to say, so we don't know what his definition of clean is, so we need to check this. And so, you know, they were upset. They didn't want to give us adequate time to review. Unlike the Republicans, we weren't just going to allow 71 pages to fall in our lap and then take a vote and go back to our constituency and say, well, we didn't realize because we trusted what Kevin McCarthy said. So there were different maneuvers that were employed by our caucus to make sure that our team had some sort of time to review this.
And so you all feel comfortable with what was in this continuing resolution?
I think it was the best solution for the American people to make sure that we could keep government open. Absolutely.
So there's been a lot of conversation. Obviously, now it goes to the Senate, but you just heard me ask NBC's Julie Sirkin about this motion to vacate. I often hear my reporter friends, other folks who are asking members of Congress saying, well, are the Democrats going to save Kevin McCarthy? It's my understanding that Democrats have been lock and step behind you all's leader, Minority Leader Jeffries. Has there been any conversation amongst the caucus about a motion to vacate?
There is no conversation amongst us. That is a Republican problem. And as far as I'm concerned, we are doing everything that we can to make Kevin McCarthy look like he is somewhat competent by making sure that when there is a bipartisan opportunity on the table, we absolutely do that if it puts the American people first. His job is not my concern. And here's the deal. Kevin McCarthy literally needs to find a spine. He needs to tell them, if you gonna hop, then go ahead and hop and file your motion. But instead, what he allows Matt Gaetz to do is basically treat him like he his little puppet on a string, and it's like, and he's pulling the strings. If you're going to do it, do it. But the reality is that there is no one in that caucus that has the votes. So if it's not Kevin McCarthy, I know who has a lot of strong votes standing behind him. So it's Kevin or it's Hakeem. My vote is for Hakeem. So we can do another 15 rounds, 16 rounds or whatever. But ultimately, what we will see again is that there is no one else that has the votes.
All right. So Speaker Amerta, Speaker Amerta Pelosi noted that Democrats should not bail out Kevin McCarthy, and it sounds like Democrats are lock and step behind that. Speaker McCarthy, he just gave some comments, and he had a lot of things to say about Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, as it related to impeachment. It seemed quite disjointed to me. You sit on the House Oversight Committee. You actually went viral this week because, first of all, did you bring any props with you today? Do you have any exhibits or any evidence you'd like to enter?
I don't have any evidence today.
Okay. I just want to play
kind of like their hearing.
Yeah. Well, I want to play some comments from you from the impeachment hearing, quotes for the hearing earlier this week.
But I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally, and that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. And honestly, I hope and pray that my parents love me half as much as he loves his child. Until they find some evidence, we need to get back to the people's work, which means keeping this government open so that people don't go hungry in the streets of the United States.
I really feel like that Democrats on the House Oversight Committee this go round, y'all really came to play. From you to Maxwell Frost to, AOC. What was the strategy here?
The strategy was to show that they are inept and that this was nothing but another distraction that the Republicans wanted to put in front of the American people. So they thought that maybe if we make Joe Biden look like he's half as corrupt as Trump, then maybe the people won't care about the fact that the government is shut down, because that's a bigger issue. And unfortunately, again, for them, they were outgunned. We have a ton of talent. Our bench is deep on the Democratic side. And so while I still haven't really figured out why my clip went viral, everyone brought it in that committee. And I just wish, if you got some extra time, people need to sit down and watch all of us, because it was like a master class in what it should look like to serve in the House. And if we are going to deal with impeachment, I need the Republicans to understand that we are not going to play with this. Democrats seemingly are constantly saying, we will stand for what is right and we will stand against what is wrong. And it doesn't matter your party affiliation. While they're over here playing political games, and at the same time, as I stated there, we have people that are going to go hungry in the streets.
There's work to be done.
There's work to be done.
Were you all surprised that Republican witnesses that were called for this impeachment inquiry hearing basically said that there was no there for impeachment just yet?
I wasn't surprised. We've been going through this. My very first hearing was actually on Hunter Biden's laptop. That was our very first hearing. So now
sounds pressing to the American people.
Correct, right? And so we've been going through hearings for months, and they've come up with nothing. The fact witnesses have not given them the facts that they want. So now they've decided that they want to bring in pundits who can opine on what has already been testified to by fact witnesses. And, I don't know what they thought they were doing, because we know what a fact witness is when we see one. We know what evidence is when we see it. And that's why I wanted to be clear about those boxes at Mar-a-Lago. That looked like evidence to me.
Yeah, in the you know what that we will not say on this program. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, thank you for coming in. If you want to bring any evidence or any props back after the next hearing, you are welcomed at this table anytime, my friend.
Thank you.
Good to see you.